So, last episode we left on the cliffhanger of finding poor Mary Purnell dead. We can find out that she was stabbed.
Could be a knife wound. The murder was brutal.
And that she's holding a letter.
Dear Sonia, I need to tell you several things
about your father. In fact, I know he would have wanted me to tell you. Among them, the fact that you co-own an apartment in Manhattan. Please call me. Yours truly, Mary Purnell.
So she was going to let her know that they were in a relationship. Is it her shoes?
If I were you, I wouldn't quit. Trust me, it might be painful at first, but time heals all wounds. Why did you listen to me?
Oh. So maybe if I don't tell her to do that, she won't come here? But this is story critical. I can't see that not happening. Ay, ay, ay. I told you to stay down there.
I want you to call the police, Sonia, and then go straight to a friend's house. Don't even think about going home, and definitely don't come back here.
I'm staying at a friend's house. I haven't even set foot in my father's place yet.
Good. Do you have the keys? If the murderer didn't find what he was looking for, that might be his next stop, if he hasn't been there yet.
Champies. Food of champions. And just the way that's written, like food of champions, it makes it sound like dog food to me. I'm sure that some brand of dog food when I was a kid had that as their like tagline or their product, you know, the default product and thing phrase.
For once I had the keys to the place, which meant I wouldn't have to use my lockpicks or...
So someone locked it from the inside, it would seem. Can I just leave?
It doesn't look like anyone picked the lock.
Whoa, so many things.
Look at that. The guy sure had good taste.
Is that meant to be, what's the black guy who's blind but plays piano? I'm hopeless for names. I'm so bad at names of actors and things. Oh, and he's also got the art of boxing. People will call anything an art.
Today, everything's an art. So what next? The art of hopscotch?
The art of hopscotch. Oh, and we can't go any further this way. Oh, there's a card. Oh, I missed one. Come on, there was a book. Oh, maybe it wasn't the book. Maybe it was the box that I was able to interact with.
It's hard to believe that a pair of boxing fists could play something like this, although I'm sure he had the lungs for it.
Oh,
As I glanced at the telephone, I remembered the weekly password for O'Leary's illegal gambling operation, even though I had rejected his reward for finding Yale, and had chosen to bet it all on Yale. I had managed to make my own dirty money after the Eagle Pimp suddenly quit the poker game. How much damage could another bet do?
okay.
Yes.
Wild strawberries.
Welcome, sir. May I ask for the beneficiary of your bet?
Eugene's widow. No.
John H. Blackmore.
I see. Event?
Stone versus Yale. Madison Square Garden.
Got it. Amount?
$5,000.
Winner?
I already bet on Bobby.
Yale wins.
Place of delivery?
I'd seen several locations written out in O'Leary's basement, but I could only remember one, courtesy of my new matchbox, La Iguana Pool Room.
All right, sir. Good afternoon.
Oh, so the bets that he takes, he pays out there. So they're kind of in cahoots. The iguana guy and... Oh, there is a book. And O'Leary. The father of baseball.
It looks like Dunn had already begun to move his things. Dunn? Thorpe? No idea. And these two, they look familiar.
Anything else? Nope. Sonia is a film buff? No, Dunn.
I seem to recall Dunn being mad about the pictures, but who knows?
This is his house, and I don't think she's put up the poster since moving in. There's some spectacularly large knives and forks. Look at them. It's like half the size of the table.
Ready-made meals on airplane trays in front of the TV. Who would have thought we'd end up eating like this? Dunn died 4 days ago, and that lettuce still looks okay.
So that implies that she has been living here? I don't know how quickly lettuce goes off. Like, if it's in a crisper now, probably wouldn't be crisp after 4 days.
Of course. Now I see how Dunn bought the apartment he was going to share with Mary. This place has to be empty in 2 weeks for the new owners. I wonder if Sonia knows about this.
So that confirms what Mary was saying, although she's dead now, so...
Sardines. It's been open for a few hours.
Oh, but there were sardine thingies in the tissue paper. Yes. There's empty sardines and there was smelly sardine tissue paper.
It's pretty clear that the burglar came by the house before heading to the gym, which means he probably didn't find what he was looking for in here.
Maybe he was looking for Sonia.
You still looked at her every morning, so many years later, with a new love? Maybe we don't need to forget. Maybe pain just transforms into, I don't know, something.
Aww. Ah, he's planning his proposal words. Yeah.
This is too private.
Well, you're not called a private eye for nothing. Come on with it. Chop chop.
Another empty closet.
So Dunn's was empty because he'd moved into Mary's. But this one is empty. Why? Ooh. Is that just a please leave?
Is this how he got in?
Oh, this is how the Boigler got in. Okay, so maybe I was misremembering before when I said you can exit the place without telling O'Leary things by the window. Maybe that was here and I was mixing them up. Oops.
Wow. Could Dunn really afford such luxuries? Or did he only want to impress Mary?
And she had the one about femininity at home.
Elaine. I think that was Dunn's wife's name, according to Jake.
Okay, that looks to be about everything. Oh no, there's a whole nother room. Oh, it's a music box.
Could this be the origin of Sonia's interest in business management?
It's a bit of a stretch, I would have said, but it ends up being right, so, you know. Ooh.
One of the very few teen idols who only got better with age.
With the same name as our game here, Under the Skin. Dun-dun, dun-dun.
What's this doing here? No matter how hard I look, I'm not getting anywhere. I need to talk with Sonia, and maybe with her uncle Tim.
You've triggered the exit.
It brings back, I don't know.
Bad memories.
Bad memories?
We were
A
in the
pessimist, are we? It's like remembering the last day of summer. Scenes full of joy, picturesque landscapes, and yet the light is faint and the air is still. The calm before the storm.
war. I don't follow.
I'm not sure I follow.
Maybe you're lucky and don't know what hardship looks like. Or, no. The opposite would be much too sad. We met in the army. We were all professional athletes. They called us the Olympic Five.
Well, what about
Was Dunn already boxing?
Yes, he was. I had already seen him fight before I even met him. He was as humble in the ring as he was in life. He'd always let his rivals take the initiative. I remember how he barely dodged the blows. If you didn't look at his feet, it seemed like he wasn't even moving. And the footwork, pure dancing. You could almost hear the music. The song would play until his opponent was exhausted. Then came the drum roll, followed by Dunn's victory by KO.
What about you?
What about you?
I had just signed with the Milestones. I hadn't even played my first game, but people said I had a bright future ahead of me.
But the war got in your way?
But the war got in the way of that bright future.
Huh? No, I made it big when I came back. Best time of my life. Don't you remember that cop at the hospital? The one who let me in exchange for an autograph? Trust me, nobody calls you Iron Arm if you're just sitting on the bench. Who would have thought that I'd end up becoming Tim Iron Legs Thorpe?
What happened?
Gosh.
I fought the Nazis for 2 years.
I mean,
up
he
there
said
in
it.
the sky, over Europe.
It's just...
And I never set foot in a field hospital. 3 years later, I crossed the street without looking. And look at me now.
What
Who's the
about...
guy on the right?
Angus Mitchell, our combat medic, and a doctor with the New York Warriors. It was Spanow who got him assigned to our platoon.
And
Hey,
the monkey?
isn't that Craig Spano? The guy on the Morley's billboards?
Yes, indeed. Our captain. He was the oldest, after all, and star of the New York Warriors. He was an orphan, you know. But he loved the sport so much that he said baseball was his family. He was the one who had Mitchell assigned to our platoon.
Orphan, but baseball is his family.
Who's the guy on the left?
Ah, Viktor Sukovsky, the athlete. You've probably heard of his medals.
What happened to all of them?
Zukovsky died the same day they injured Dunn. Dunn received an honorable discharge and came home. He quit boxing and opened his gym. Mitchell was redeployed to a field hospital. Spano and I continued in the same unit, but nothing was ever the same. You see what I meant with the last day
Stop
of
playing
summer.
blurry.
And after the war, well, who the hell cares?
I do.
It's still focused on our character. Like, the game is trying to focus on our shoulder, but we're not looking over our shoulder anymore. What happened to Spano?
What happened to Spano?
Well, you've seen the billboards. He made it big time. When I was forced to retire, I got him some advertising deals. That's how I founded this agency. But then, something happened to him. He became sullen. He fell out of shape, and slowly but surely lost touch with reality. He withdrew from public life and broke off our friendship. Haven't heard from him in, 3 years? And believe me, I've tried to contact him.
Do you think he was involved?
Do you think Spano might have been involved in Dunn's death?
Spano? No way. He and Dunn were always... Well, Spano's changed so much that it's hard to say.
And what happened to Mitchell?
What happened to Mitchell after the war?
Mitchell? Who knows? We lost touch. I hope he's doing well.
I think I saw him.
I think I saw Mitchell not too long ago.
The
but
doctor.
I can't remember where.
Seriously? Please try to remember. I'd love to hear from him again.
I'll do my best.
Allow me to
I was
double
like,
your wage.
I know.
You
I
have
know
to find
player
the murderer.
knows. Why couldn't I
Maybe
tell
Dunn
you?
stayed in touch with Mitchell or Spano. Maybe even with both. But he never told me anything. Maybe Sonia knows.
I doubt it. But that's not the only question I've got for her. May I?
And now do we become weekly? Doing the tennis interview?
Yes?
Sonia?
No, she's not here. Who's calling?
Where is she?
He told her to stay away. You know what? We'll call it an episode there. Just for now. Peace.